got time. Okie dokie, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. So,
Excuse me if we have a little lunch.
uh,
Isabel and I missed lunch.
oh, that's fine. You guys can. We should have we could have done a catered photography lesson. We could have ordered pizzas and sandwiches for all of you.
Oh, that sounds good.
Um, I ran a lot of photography like workshops as team building for companies, like especially when I lived in the Bay Area, and I'd go into Facebook and Google and stuff, and we'd do photography as a team building, and then they'd always do pizzas at the end, and everyone share their photos and sit together, kind of like how we do, but just eating pizza at the same time. Anyway, um, so thank you everyone for sending me pictures. Last time we went, as a reminder, we went pretty technical in terms of talking about shutter speed and then tying in ISO and how that worked. I know a couple of you emailed me showing me that you'd still had issues, still weren't sure about things. My hope is we're going to run through things today. We're going to take a look at all of your photos, especially the mistake ones are the ones I think we're going to learn the most from. But I really want to, by the end of today, um, hopefully show you the value of persisting with the Lightroom app rather than just say, I'm going to go back and shoot like using Apple's camera, which is fine. But as a reminder, Apple's camera only gives you a perspective as we see it, so to speak. The Apple camera is just trying to show you exactly the right brightness and how you view the world in front of you. Essentially, it's a documentary photo. Now, you can get creative with your perspective and your framing and your composition and so forth, but you're not really using anything that a camera can do. To kind of give you an idea, we as humans see it 1/100th of a second. It's just how we see movement. You don't see a hummingbird going past you and it's frozen, and you also don't see waves looking soft and silky. So we see it about 1/100th of a second. The iPhone, as default, is set to 1/80th. So it's basically set to see how we see. Now, when you start using Lightroom, or there's hundreds of other photography apps that you can download, just by far and away, Lightroom is the most popular one. You start to be able to peel back the layers of the onion
Forgot
of,
how to say that.
oh, hold on, Cass. Just mute yourself, Cass, if you can. Um, you start to peel back the layers of the onion and start to get to the more technical stuff, which takes time and it's a steep learning curve at the beginning. But the kind of the nirvana where we're hoping to get to in the end is that not only are you more intentional with your photography, secondly, arguably it becomes more instinctive, it becomes more subconscious. But thirdly, you're able to go from documenting, just capturing the world around you, to actually creating. And that's a big difference. And creating is much more tying in all the things that we've learned so far, and there's lots still to learn on lighting and color and composition, and then tying it in with the technical things. And again, we've like scraped the surface of what you can do, but it's an introduction in order to give you more manual control. For those of you who are finding it hard at the moment or wondering what's the merit in Adam showing me all this, I promise there's a reason to my madness, like why I'm showing it to you in the long run. I think it's massively going to help you. Even in the short run, it seems quite difficult. That famous quote from the French street photographer Henri Cartier-Bresson: "Your first 10,000 photographs are your worst." We just got to keep on practicing. And the more you practice, the more instinctive it's going to come. And the more we practice, the less intimidating all these crazy numbers that I throw at you are, the fractions and the 1/100th, 1/4000th, ISO 100. I felt like actually as a group, you were really getting it last time as we got to the end of the class and we ran through those scenarios. But interesting to see how you kind of interpreted it in the field. Before I jump in and share my screen, has anyone got any immediate concerns or questions of anything maybe they
Yeah,
encountered? Okay, quite a few. Okay, let's go Iris first and then Judy.
that's simple. I'm trying to delete photos from the Lightroom app.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. And there's that. And then hold on, let's see what Judy's question is and see if I can answer them both at the same time.
Sure. Okay.
What's your question, Judy?
Oh, mine was it was more an observation, and I think I didn't give myself a lot of different subjects to try with our shutter speed and ISO. So I found that it felt like there was it was usually a sunny day, very narrow range of getting to mess with those things with, the shutter speed. Otherwise, I got really bright photos.
Okay.
Anybody else have that problem?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So that problem I understand, but it doesn't really I'm not saying it doesn't make sense to me, but
Well, I think it's like if I was trying to slow everything down, like it's easy to take a fast picture on a sunny day, but
yeah,
then trying to slow it down, I was
honestly.
getting blown out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I understand. That makes sense.
Okay.
So that issue, trying to do a slow shutter speed on a sunny day,
Mhm.
is a notoriously difficult camera problem. You could have a $20,000 camera, you'd have exactly the same problem as if you had the iPhone. Problem being is obviously you're letting in like loads of light and it's already really bright outside. So we do everything we can with our other variables. ISO, take it all the way down, as low as it will go. You don't have an aperture really on your camera, but for people who have apertures on their cameras, they make the hole smaller as well. It's called stop down the aperture. But in truth, if you try to go out to the beach now and it was sunny and make the water look completely still, it's almost impossible on any camera without using these things called neutral density filters. And it's basically like putting a pair of sunglasses in front of your camera.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
cheats the camera to think that it's darker than it really is.
Okay.
And you can buy those for the iPhone. Like they exist for the iPhone, they exist for cameras. You can buy little magnetic ones and they snap on. But especially as you get into the really, really slow shutter speed stuff,
Mhm.
which like remember Lightroom lets us go to 1 second, but there's options if we wanted to. There's various different apps. One's called Slow Shutter Cam. I haven't shown it to you yet, but if you want to, you could do a 5 minute picture, a 5 minute exposure. But even if you did that and it was in the shade and it was cloudy, that would be too white.
Mhm.
So that's just it's kind of just like the push and pull of how the camera sees and interprets light. It's a really common issue that you don't get when you shoot with a fast shutter speed because you're eliminating light. But on the flip side, if you went into a restaurant with a friend and it was dark, a candlelit restaurant, and you need to photograph them, you have the opposite problem that you have to try to
Right.
figure out. Because then if you use a fast shutter speed or fast enough to freeze them, the whole picture just goes black. And you're like, what do I do? So again, in those cases, that's why traditionally, if ever you went to a wedding or an event, what does the photographer have on their camera? Anyone guess? What's the photographer walking around with if you went to a wedding or an event most of the time?
Uh, would they have an additional light source?
You got it, a flash. That's the answer. Yeah. So they'd have a flash. Reason being is the flash is cheating the camera to think it's brighter than it really is. So it's the other issue. Now there's flash on our iPhones. It's not very good. But what's happening over time and what will happen, I would imagine, over the next 2 to 3 years, because I've kind of seen some of the stuff that's in the pipeline, is the need to have to use flash or the need to have to use neutral density filters is going to become less and less. Reason being is as every new camera comes out, the camera sees more light. It sees more dynamic range. And the problem that you're describing, Julie, is imagine this is how much light my camera can see.
Mm-hmm.
This is the shadows. This is the highlights. Like the light that you're trying to get sits beyond the dynamic range. It like can't get it. It's outside of what the camera can capture. So we need a bigger one.
Yeah.
And as I say, as cameras are getting better and better, I mean, like the difference between the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 17 is enormous
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the amount of dynamic range it can capture. It will reach a point, a ceiling, probably in 2 or 3 years, where it'll be like, no one needs any more than this. It's not quite there yet. But that will and now if you went to for example, a wedding, whereas if you went to a wedding 10 years ago, every wedding photographer was using a flash.
Yeah.
Now it's not necessarily um, that applicable because a lot of the really good cameras, you can turn up the ISO, turn up that internal dimmer switch inside the camera, without there being so much noise. So photographers can get to ISO 5000 and it's a perfectly usable picture for the bride and groom. When I started as a professional photographer 22 years ago and digital was just starting, I used to photograph sport, fast shutter speeds, so I didn't let in much light. About the maximum I could get my camera up to was ISO 400.
Well,
Now
Okay.
my camera can go to like ISO 10,000.
Mhm.
So
wow.
it's huge. And every time you double those numbers, you double the amount of light. So you're doubling it. So 400 to 800, 800 to 1600, 1600 to 3200. You're doubling and doubling and doubling how much light the camera can see.
Mhm.
Same with for those of you who've got cameras. I know some of you have cameras, rather than not just iPhones, is people pay more money for lenses where the aperture can go bigger.
Mm.
The F number can go bigger because there's lots of scenarios where people are in low lit scenarios, and the fact that it can go from, let's make up F 4.5, which is a hole like this. In fact, I can show you this. I've got my camera here. You can see there's a hole down there, right? See the little hole? And you have this, it's just built into your iPhone, but the theory is quite useful for you guys to know. But you see the hole getting bigger and smaller?
Mhm.
See that hole? That's the aperture. The aperture is it's like the pupil in our eye. Like when we go into really bright situations, our pupil gets smaller. When we go into dark situations, our pupil gets bigger. Aperture on a camera is basically the same, but people pay more money for better lenses because it will allow the hole to go from 4.5 to 2.8, and that's double the amount of light. That means they don't have to use a flash. Hey, Cass. And then I haven't forgotten
So,
about your question, Iris. Don't worry.
What did you say?
thank you.
Go on, Cass.
Oh, so when I was out hiking this morning, I was trying to take a picture of a tree and I was using my Lightroom app. And then I was getting frustrated because I didn't have the settings all correct. And so then I took it with my iPhone
Yeah.
and it was like beyond perfect. It wasn't what I was seeing either. So it's like the iPhone overcorrected. I just I wanted to bring that
In
point
terms
up
of it
that the iPhone
overcorrected
overcorrects things.
the light.
Correct.
Well, generally, the way the iPhone works in the native camera app is what it does is it has this like pre-built computer on it, which is like, I know what Cass will find pleasing in terms of color.
Mhm.
Like it boosts the colors more than we see it straight away. Every color that you take on an iPhone is more vivid than we see it. And it will often, again, depending on what iPhone have you got, Cass, the 17?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you've got a big dynamic range. So it's straight away, even when you take it, it's seeing more than you're seeing. I'd
Mhm.
still argue, though, that using the Lightroom app, because you can control the depth of field, you
Mhm.
can, I mean, for a tree, it's not relevant. The shutter speed is not so relevant. You can keep the,
Oh, but
like,
I came home and did some editing and I'm like, that's what I saw
yeah,
on the Lightroom app. So it was much better. I'm just saying it looked artificial almost on the Apple camera. It wasn't what
yeah.
I saw.
Um,
What Lightroom with a little adjustment because it was bright out, but with a little adjustment, it was what I saw.
yeah,
So I just bring that up to encourage people with the Lightroom app.
yeah, it's a great point. And as I said, the biggest thing is when you take it on with your like native Apple iPhone app, is you have zero control of what it looks
Right,
like. There's no control.
right,
It's like having a camera. It's like me each going and buying you a camera and saying, "Hey everyone, I'm buying you this amazing camera, but I only ever want you to shoot it on automatic."
right.
That's the equivalent. Um, okay, hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Judy, did that answer your question?
I'm gonna go to the
Yes,
other
thank
room
you.
just because the echoing.
Yeah, Cass, you've got a bad echo. I'm not sure
Yeah,
why.
I know, I'm gonna move to the other room.
Um,
Cass and Isabella are sharing space.
oh, they are sharing space. That was my question. Are you two in the
Yes.
same room?
Yes.
I said at the beginning, I said, are two of you in the same space? Fine.
We got it. They didn't.
Well, that's exactly why there's an echo, because you can't have two people in the same room at the
Yeah.
same time. Oh, then we could have had a pizza party. There we go. I didn't realize two people did that. Okay. So
Karen has a question.
let me do Iris's question first, and then I'll come to Karen, because otherwise. So Iris's question is how to delete photos from the Lightroom app. Okay, so I'll talk you through that. So when you go into the Lightroom app, and you should have like a grid that shows all your photos that you've taken. If you hit on the three little circles on the top right-hand corner, in fact, actually, I've got a nifty new thing that I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully this works. Let me see if I can get this working. One sec. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna mirror my screen. I'm gonna do it at the same time, so then you've got it on the recording and you can follow along. Let's see if this works. Okay, great. So you see my phone?
Hey,
You guys see that?
yes.
Okay, so here's my Lightroom app. Okay, I just pick on a picture of my dog. Okay, if I want to delete individually, three dots. Oh no, actually you can't do it this way. Sorry, you have to do it this way. So with the three dots here at the top, then you're going to select top one, and then you're just going to touch, and you can do multiple, or you can just do one at a time. And then you're just going to hit remove down at the bottom there. And that's going to delete it. Okay, so three dots, select, touch with your finger, remove. You get that, Iris? Okay. Second thing, actually, just while I've got my phone up here and I can show you, is as a reminder, when you shoot in the Lightroom app, the photos stay in the Lightroom ecosystem. They don't come over to the Apple system. So a lot of people say to me, well, hold on, I want to send this with some other pictures that I took somewhere else, and I want to send this to a friend, a family member, whatever. We need to know how to do that. So at the moment, if I went and showed you my normal camera roll, these photos aren't there. These are just taken in the Lightroom app. Okay. But if I go three dots and I go select again, and I'll just check three of these. And then I'm going to go share. And then here it says save copy to device.
Okay.
When I click on that, it basically like exports them out of Lightroom. And now they're on my normal iPhone camera roll. That's it. I'll do that again because I did that pretty fast. So you open the grid, you look at three dots at the top, select, you tap on the photos you want to change or you want to save. You go share down at the bottom here, and then save copy to device. And that gets it onto the Apple side if you want it on the Apple side. Everyone got that?
And then from there, we could transfer them to our computer.
They automatically go to your computer. You don't even
That's
have to transfer.
yeah.
But if you, I can't, Judy, have you got Lightroom on your computer?
No, I don't. That was another question for today.
So yeah, so for those of people who have already got Lightroom on their computer, they transfer automatically. That's the whole point. You don't have to do anything.
They transfer into Lightroom from Lightroom to Lightroom.
So imagine how Apple iPhone goes into Apple Photos automatically. Lightroom on the iPhone goes into Lightroom automatically on your computer. And in the long run, not for today, but for those of you who aren't in Lightroom, I would like on your computer that to become, and I would highly recommend that becomes your one-stop shop for everything photography, because it's just a million times better than Apple. It put Apple Photos, Apple made a program called Aperture, and they discontinued it because no one was using it. Everyone just uses one program, but it's speed, efficiency, and creativity. So when it comes to like organizing your photos, I should be able to say, hey, like Cash, show me your favorite photo of your horse from 3 years ago at that event, and she should be able to pull it up in 1 second. And then
Is it the same app? I'm sorry, excuse me. Is it the same app on the computer as the phone, or is it a little bit different?
It's really confusing.
Okay.
And I hold the question. I'm going to come to it in a second. Let me just finish showing just one. I want Elizabeth a question as well. Go for it. Ask me the question.
Something's disappeared. I have on the three dots, my select has disappeared suddenly. I was deleting photos and I've just got save copy to device. Can you see?
No, you're not holding it high enough. But hold on. What happens? No, because you got the blur on. What happens?
show you.
Just close the app and reopen it.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, wait. Okay, so you can do you want to take it out? Do you want to copy, get rid of it?
Yeah, but what's
Okay,
happened to the
watch.
select button?
Delete. And then you
Yeah, cool,
deleted it.
but before
So you just go back with the
Hold on,
series.
hold on, guys,
had
guys,
this
guys.
select. Oh, it's come back.
Yeah, it came back.
Okay, my
You know-
helper.
You know, and I was going to say, if in doubt, just close it and open it again. It's kind of like
Open
giving
again.
giving the washing machine a bath.
Okay,
Okay, but
Okay.
I'll help you. We can help you
okay,
with all.
thank you.
No problem. Okay, now Judy, I'm going to come to your question in a minute. Let me just show you one other thing, just while I've got my Lightroom open here so you can see my phone. One other thing that often you want to do is maybe you don't even want to take it over to the Apple side. I just want to send a picture of my dog to my wife. So I can go here, go select, click on the picture of my dog, share down at the bottom. And then when I go share here, it's going to come up with all my things. I can just text it to my wife. I can put it in an email, all the normal things like you would be able to do from Apple Photos. I can airdrop it to my computer. Okay. And again, you can do that for multiple photos. So I could select 5 photos here, share. This is the bit people forget to do this. And then there's another share button there in blue.
I think that's how I sent my photos to you.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I can't tell that whether you sent them like that.
Oh,
But,
no, that's fine, but that's okay.
but as long as you know how
went
to do
through.
that, that's great.
Okay.
Okay, while I'm here, I'm just thinking if there's anything else I need to show you on the select side of things. Let's just have a look. There is a move to. Lots of people think that this is move. See at the bottom there, it says move to. This confuses a lot of people. They think it's moving it to their iPhone. It's not. This is moving it to an album if you had albums set up.
Oh.
And this I don't want you to use too much. You can see I've hardly got anything in here because I really only use this for teaching. But that's because, to Julie's point, I'll tell you about it now, is that, go on, you have a question?
I wasn't sure how you got to that menu from our little phones. Down at the bottom.
So hold on, let me bring up my phone back again. Yeah.
So I've got no, God.
Okay, you see my phone again?
Yes, I've got all photos. Okay.
Okay, so let's just so here's all my photos. Then I go at the top, select, pick on the photos I want to pick on, and then there's down here it says move to.
Okay. All right.
Again, I don't really want you to use this, but I'm just showing you
Okay.
because people make
Oh,
the
I
mistake.
see. Gotcha.
People
Okay.
make the mistake and they think that this is moving to their iPhone and it's not.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Now to backtrack a second, yeah, there's nothing here that's very interesting right now to show you. I mean, there's tons of interesting things, but nothing that's priority. Actually, I'll show you one cool thing they've got. So this is AI. Oh, it's not letting me work it. So there's a feature here where if you went and took, I mean, I really don't want you to use this because this is really not you not thinking. But if you went and took 50 pictures of the tree that Cass wanted to take and you hit choose best photos, it will try and tell you which one's your best one. The AI. Where it's really good is if you go to a party or you're photographing for, again, like really designed for like event photographers, it will get rid of all like the pictures with everyone's eyes closed, for example, or if someone's got their eyes closed in a picture. It's called auto culling. It's actually also in the main Lightroom on the computer.
That's interesting. Your menu is much more extensive than.
Yeah, I don't have some of those things.
Really make sure.
Yeah,
Well, maybe you need to update the app.
Yeah, if you go like under view options and you have square grid, justified grid, segmentation, info, start slideshow, that's it. It doesn't go into the other ones that you had.
Oh, that's interesting. What iPhone? Remind me what iPhone you got, Judy?
17?
Yeah.
Make sure you're updated. Just make sure the app's updated. I mean,
Okay. All right.
Marietta and Kate, you okay over there? Being quiet in the corner? You can't just be quiet in the corner and not think I'm going to ask on you.
I'm fine. My gardeners are here with weed trimmers or something very loud. So
No. You're fine. I just wanted to make sure you guys didn't have any questions. Okay, So let
I
me,
have a question.
oh, okay, yeah, go for it.
Um, it seemed, it might just been my perception, but it seemed as if when I was in Lightroom, the foreground was more dominant.
What do you mean by
And
more dominant? Sharper
well,
or bigger? Oh, bigger.
there was more of it, if
Okay, well
that makes sense.
that would insinuate that there's a difference in the lens that you were using. So when you use a wider angle lens, maybe you were on the UW lens, maybe.
Okay.
I'm just hypothesizing, not necessarily true. But if you're in the ultra wide angle lens, then the foreground is always going to look bigger because it makes everything look massive.
Okay.
So maybe what, but if you're in the W and you're in your iPhone camera, it literally uses the same lens. It should be, I mean, the scale at which the foreground appears should be exactly the same. How much or how little is in focus will be different, which again may be playing with like the optics and a bit of an optical illusion. Because Lightroom does different things than Apple does in terms of focusing the foreground. And sometimes if the front third of the foreground is blurry, you don't even notice it's there and it looks insignificant, for example. Again, I'm somewhat guessing. There's lots of reasons why I think you're saying could have happened. But did you, in fact, I'll share my phone again just once more. Did you guys, I don't know whether this will let me do this. Can you see it? No, it doesn't let me do it.
Okay, wait, Adam, I got into something I thought in one of those buttons that you said, and now I have information on all my pictures that I'm looking at.
That's just,
Heck.
you put the information, so hold on, I'll show you what you did there. So let me go select. It's good, you guys have lots of questions today. And then,
We must have been working on our homework very hard.
yeah, and then, hold on, I know what Cass has done. I've just got to remember how to turn it off.
I want to get off it. Like,
I'll find it one sec. Info overlays here, Cass. So three dots,
okay, yeah.
info overlays, and then just turn that off.
Yeah, I'm trying to, oh, there, thank God. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Let me do a kind of high level little tutorial for a second, which is going to be the benefit of almost all of you here. Which is, to Judy's point, we all now have the Lightroom app. Oops. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we all have the Lightroom app on our phones. So here's Lightroom app on our phone. So this is our phone. Okay. So excuse my terrible drawings. So up until, and this is really confusing, up until 9 months ago, there was only, 10 months ago, there was only one Lightroom. There was Lightroom and there was Lightroom. Pretty self-explanatory. You downloaded Lightroom on your computer, you downloaded your Lightroom on your phone, on your iPad, it was all the same. They had another version that they used to call Lightroom Lite, which was basically like a version of Lightroom that was really stripped down, that only had maybe 20% of the big program. The reason they had that was a lot of, especially professional photographers, were like in the middle of nowhere, like on a train, on a bus, wanting to edit their photos, and they didn't have their computer, and they wanted to give people the ability to start editing or rating which photo is the best photo, which one do they want to edit when they get home, while on their phone or their iPads. As iPhones have become more popular for photography, any phones, then they decided to call Lightroom Lite Lightroom, just Lightroom on its own. This is now the mobile version, but it's called Lightroom. It's not called Lightroom Mobile anymore, which was really easy to understand. There's another version of Lightroom that's got like 80% more stuff called Lightroom Classic. And Lightroom Classic is the one that we want to put on our computers. And everyone makes the mistake when I first teach them Lightroom of downloading the wrong one on their computer. I'm actually going to show you something in a sec, but is a really common pitfall. So these are essentially the same thing. Just Lightroom Classic has a lot more bells and whistles. You can make a book, you can make a coaster, you can print your photos, you can do pretty much anything you can imagine you'd ever want to do with your photography in here. The Lightroom app not so much. But one thing they did not long ago at all in like November, which was a huge change, which is a big reason why people like being in this whole ecosystem, is that you can take your pictures over here. So you're out on a walk taking your pictures, and they automatically come in here. So that's to say, you go on a walk, you go to the gardens. Isabella's currently at Cass's house. They take some pictures of each other having lunch. Isabella goes back to her home. And when she goes to her home and she looks on her computer, all those pictures are just waiting for her. She doesn't have to do anything. There's no sending, there's no emailing, there's no trying to put it in a folder. It's all automatic.
Great.
Which was a huge sea change in terms of like the Lightroom ecosystem. I used to have to teach people how to like import photos from Apple Photos to Lightroom, and people wanted to do it because they could do so much more with their photos in Lightroom. Now we don't have to do anything. They talk completely with each other. It's really easy. You've just got to make sure you download the right Lightroom on your computer. And you've all paid for it. Like if you're using the Lightroom app, you paid for it. I'll show you actually. I'll share my whole screen one sec. And I'll show you, share my whole screen. And if I click here, can you guys see this?
Mhm.
Okay. So here I've got to figure out how to get view plans. Here we go. Okay, so most people, okay, this is all, and you've paid for these. You just need to go and find the right one. But they have all these photography plans that make it really confusing to people. Like they have this one called Lightroom, which actually doesn't give you the behemoth Lightroom. They also have this one that's $22.99 that gives you the same but less than the $19.99 one, which I don't really understand. And I've downgraded so many people off this plan. And I bought you 4 cups of coffee because I saved them like $25. But this is the one that I'm hoping that you are all on. So it's Lightroom, Lightroom Classic, and again I'll draw like I can see Isabella taking a picture of it. Let me just draw around it. So this is the one you want. It's called the photography plan. And the easiest way actually to get to it, I'm gonna backtrack. If you go on your computers and you go on the internet and you go adobe.com/downloads, it's gonna open this page. You're going to go and hit creativity and design up here. And then you're going to hit photographers. So adobe.com, creativity and design, photographers. Click on it. Okay. Take your photos to the next level, blah, blah, blah. And then interestingly, look, so here's your difference. Look, there's Lightroom. That's the mobile one. Make your photos amazing anywhere you are. And here is the mothership. This is like the behemoth. This is what 99.9% of people who come to me and ask how to use Lightroom, they want to know how to use Lightroom Classic. If I hit buy now, you're going to see, again, it's confusing. I'm now back at that plans page. You've got to make sure that the one you get is Lightroom and Lightroom Classic. And you may well be paying for this one and not realizing it. And if you just go on adobe.com and type in your email and your whatever your password was when you originally signed up with the app, you can downgrade your plan. You just got to make sure that your plan that you're getting has both of those. Now you get Photoshop thrown in as well. Hold on, Isabella, one sec. You get Photoshop thrown in as well, but in truth, the need for most of you to ever have to use Photoshop anymore is very, very minimal. Again, over the last 3 to 5 years, they've made a really it used to be like 50% of the things I had to teach you were in Lightroom and 50% were in Photoshop. They figured out that just everyone wanted to live in Lightroom, so they pulled more and more of the complex tools, taking things out of your picture, clone, like there's tons of things you can do that you can never do in Lightroom. Now you can do them all in Lightroom. So it's only for kind of more edge niche cases that you'd need Photoshop. But you get it. But I don't really want to have to teach you a program for the sake of teaching you a program. My job is to make your lives easier, which means you can be more creative. But just so you know, you get it anyway. And there may be a case down the road where you say to Adam, and you say, Adam, I want you to teach us all how to do multiple exposures, which is like when you layer photos on top of each other. GCA, you see that the whole time. People do creative techniques and they'll lay different pictures on top of each other. That is a Photoshop technique. You can't do it in Lightroom. But that's one of very few. Isabella, you had a question.
I have two questions. One, you told us we could use the Lightroom for free, which is what I've been doing. I
Really?
haven't paid for anything. Yep.
Oh yeah, you're right. You haven't paid for it because you don't need the plan. You are correct. Sorry.
So
So you're correct because hold on, but out of interest, when you downloaded it, in fact, you can do this on your phone now. You can tell me. So go into the Lightroom app again, on the phone,
mhm,
and on the top left-hand corner,
mhm,
hit on the letters that say LR.
yeah,
Okay, and then is your name there?
yep,
Yeah.
And then what does it say? And then if you click on it, does it say you're subscribed?
nope.
Ah, that's why. Fine. So just
It
like
says I can sign out or restore purchases, delete Adobe account, but no, I'm not.
well, there we are. So there we are. I didn't even think about that. So because everyone I teach uses it on the computer, usually they do it the other way to what you guys are doing it. They have it on their computer and then they need to get it on their phone.
But that was the whole point, is you said you were teaching us stuff on our phone,
Yes, true.
right?
But now you guys are asking me about this
Okay.
because Judy just the reason I'm answering the
Yeah.
question is because Judy just asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring up a good point in that if you want to get Lightroom on your computer, you've got to pay. If you just want to use it on your phone, you don't have to pay, but you don't get the convenience of that whole them talking to each other the whole time.
And would it blow up my computer with all its memory?
It's a great question, and my answer back to you is it depends what computer you have.
Yeah. So
How old's your computer?
it's old enough that it might. I'm going to keep my iPhone.
Fine. What I was going to say to you is a computer maybe older than 5 years old may struggle with Lightroom. But again, it depends. I can't answer the question without seeing the
It's not,
computer.
but it's not. But I don't want it to do that right now.
It doesn't. One thing that's interesting is the way Lightroom works, and one of the big reasons people really like it, especially the computer version, is you could have 500,000 photographs in your Lightroom. In fact, you'll see I have like 500 odd thousand in mine. Um, just in this one, look, let's see how many are in here. 444,000 up there, but none of
I
these
have
are
96,000. Remember, you've been helping with my
yeah,
96,000.
but none of these are actually on my computer. So actually, it doesn't take up any what we call compute. It actually is not taking up any. It's designed to leave a very small footprint. It's meant to work very quickly. And a big reason, especially people who have big catalogs, whereas Apple Photos, everything stores on your computer, like a hard copy, and the more pictures you take, the more space gets taken up on your computer. Lightroom doesn't work like that. Lightroom makes like a tiny little version. Like what I see here is not actually the photo you sent me. It's like a tiny mini version because it's kind of like us going in this digital dark, to pun on dark room. It's like us going into the digital dark room. But the majority of the photos either live in the cloud or they live off-site. Like they don't actually take up any space on my computer, which means that it doesn't actually drag computers down. Now, if you had a really old computer and your space was really full anyway, and you had like a processor from 2015, then yes, I'd say Lightroom will probably slow your computer down. But any modern Mac or PC shouldn't have an issue, especially because you guys aren't like me. You're not putting like 5,000 photos on your computer like every day. Um, but yeah, that hopefully answers your question. And you had another
Yeah.
question, Isabella. You said you
No,
had
I'm fine. I can't remember. Thank you.
Cass, you had a
I
question.
can
Yeah.
show you too, Isabel, after, but I thought it was really fabulous when Adam helped me because my computer was on the brink of being too old. And I'm so grateful I went out and got another computer before it completely crashed. And as Adam said, sometimes they can't retrieve everything.
Well,
So didn't you say, Adam, it's about a 5, 6 year lifespan?
yeah, 5 to 6. Same with the iPhones, 5 to 6 year shelf life. One thing I'll say, just some good computing, like computer tips for all of you. Number one, everyone here on I can't remember. Is everyone on an Apple? Anyone on a PC? Okay, that makes life easier. Everyone's on a piece on an Apple. Apple, you need at least 10% of your storage free for the computer to work. That's email, that's just going on the internet, that's doing stuff. You will start to notice your computer slowing significantly down if you have less than 10% storage, which you can check at the top by just taking the Apple, about this Mac, more info, and then let me bring this over, and then storage down here. So I actually am not practicing what I preach because this computer is fairly full. But you should have 10% free. The second thing is that if you let your computer get to a point where it's so full, because you're just filling it up and filling it up and filling it up, I say it's kind of like overboiling a kettle, and you like overboil, and then the water just spills out, and then it's a disaster. And then you actually, what Cass is referring to, is if your computer becomes so full, it becomes almost impossible to operate it. You can't do anything, and you start getting corrupt files, and you start losing things. And when you go to save something, it doesn't actually save, and all these things happen that you don't want to happen. So try to keep 10% free. Try to empty your trash. People don't realize that when they put stuff in their trash on a Mac, it's not actually deleting it. Again, I always use the metaphor. It's like putting trash in your kitchen garbage, still in your house, still taking up room, it's just in the kitchen. Until we actually physically take it out our house, then it's clean. And that's why you've got to regularly empty your trash. And then the other thing that I would encourage, I'm sorry, I know I'm veering away from photography for a second here, but hopefully this is helpful, is if you do have Macs, which you all do, I would heavily encourage you to do something called a time machine backup. You guys know what that is? Just basically means that like you have a drive and it backs up your computer. Like what is Adam's computer like on Feb 23rd at 2 p.m. and it makes like a snapshot of it. It's exactly this. And then God forbid your computer blew up, you dropped it, you spilled a cup of coffee on it, you go to the Apple shop and they say the first question they'd ask you is, do you have a time machine backup? And you get a different computer and it just goes, you don't lose anything. It's exactly the same as when you get a new iPhone. You don't have to like re-put in all your phone numbers and re-put in all your emails. You just hold the phones together and they talk to each other. It's the same thing. So if you haven't done that, make sure you do that. Judy.
So the time machine, is that built into the computer, or that it's not a separate it's not a separate drive?
It's a program that's built into the computer,
okay.
but you need a separate drive. Because
you're really bringing us along. I appreciate it.
So because you have to, what you're doing is you're essentially saying, hey, like, I don't know, like this is a big hard drive, but here, this is my time machine backup. Like this lives on my desk in my drawer. I plug it in once a week. It makes like a backup. It's just a box here. It's just a time. It's just a hard
so it's a program, but it goes to an exterior.
You got it. Yeah,
thing.
and it's a program that is proprietary to Apple. You don't have it if you're on a PC.
Okay.
It's called Time Machine. It lives, if you go into your Finder and you go into your applications, it's there.
Okay.
And you'll all have it. Okay. Just you won't have it set up if you've never used it before. But I would highly encourage you to do that. It's very easy to set up. Anyone else got any computer questions? Okay, cool. So let's take a look. Can you guys see Lightroom? Okay, perfect. Let me just move you off to the side. Let's take a look at your pictures. Okay, with our settings. So, good stuff. Kate, did you send me pictures? Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss them. Marietta, did you send me?
Yes.
Do you see
Adam,
your picture? Yes, hi.
I was muted and I wanted to ask a question.
Oh, go for it.
Sorry. I get sent a lot of photos with emails from my family, annoyingly from the Olympics. I don't want them, but they automatically go into the library. Yeah. So is there any way to avoid that?
Yeah, and that when you say they go into the library, they go on your, you're receiving them on your phone, and then they go into your camera roll on your phone?
Yes, yes.
And are they texting them to you, or are they WhatsApping them?
No, the regular emails.
Emails on emails.
Yeah.
So if you go, let me have a look. So that shouldn't be turned on, but let me have a look. So if you go settings and you go photo, let me find it for you. Apps. Give me a second and I'll figure it out. Because I know there's a thing when people text you that you can turn it on and off. Oh yeah, okay. So if you go into the main settings on your phone
Yeah.
and you go to camera,
Yeah.
actually, sorry, not to camera, my mistake. Go down to apps. And then go down to photos. Okay, and then let me know once you've opened that up.
Okay.
Okay, and then 3/4 of the way down, even further actually, it says transfer to Mac or PC. I know that's not to your phone, but it's going to do the same job. So is that what's that currently showing on your? Can you see it, Erin?
No.
So you go settings, apps, photos. Hold on,
Okay.
and then third one down says optimize phone storage or download and keep originals. Yeah.
No.
No? Has everyone else got it?
No.
Settings. I'll share my let me share my phone again. One sec. It's much easier when I show you my phone because then
Yeah.
you can see what's going on. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So I go settings,
Yeah.
I go apps down at the bottom,
Yeah.
and I go photos all the way down. So I go down to P. There we go, photos. And then
Okay.
this one I don't want on download and keep originals.
Ah.
I want it on optimize iPhone storage.
Okay.
And then just while we're here, I would turn this off on all for those of you who have it. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
it says transfer to Mac or PC, put it on automatic, don't do keep originals.
Ah. Okay.
It's going to try to send massive like pictures of your receipts to your computer.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay.
So what did you say? Put on automatic?
So two things we changed there. For some of you already have this, but the second one down, you want it on optimize iPhone storage.
Yeah.
And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, almost to the bottom, you're going to see it says transfer to Mac or PC. And you want that on automatic. Marietta, I was just looking. I don't think I got an email from you with your photos.
It did say that my photos were really large. So I just wonder if it didn't go through.
Yeah, I didn't get them. Do you want to just try and resend them while I'm showing everyone else's, and then I'll make sure they're pulled up, please.
Yes, I'll do that.
Maybe try, how many did you try to send?
I'll send Joseph.
Or just send them one at a time, just put them in two different emails. Okay, good. Let's go
Thank you.
back. Let's go back to Lightroom. Okay, and let's get back into our photography brain space. Okay, you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, so very bright day, 9:04 in the morning. Sun is really bright, but it's good because Cass, where's the light coming from in this picture?
Looks like the left side, maybe.
Mm.
Front, maybe in front.
Behind and to the left. Look at the shadows.
Yes.
That's coming from like over the photographer's left shoulder, which is why like the whole thing looks so vibrant and colorful and lovely. 1/10,000th of a second because it was really bright.
Mm-hmm.
Also helps freeze these guys. They're like, these will be perfectly frozen, although it's probably a bit faster than you need. It's a really nice, this one, out of interest, is this your photo, Karen? No, because you were asking about the foreground. So this one, the foreground looks pretty big. And I think it looks big because of, I mean, I probably would have taken this photo and got lower, or I would have turned my iPhone upside down. Remember when you turn your iPhone upside down, you get that lower perspective, and then these leading lines would have looked even more emphasized.
Oh.
Watch out for this thing at the bottom here. Whose was this? One of you. Or someone is on the recording then. I think it's Carmel Beach, but I don't know. But look how the horizon is right through the middle, or pretty close to being in this. It's almost 2/3 the way up, but I think there's a lot of negative space here that we don't need. The subject of this picture is all about the birds and the ocean and like the beach and the surf. Like I don't need all that negative space at the top. Take a lot of that out. Look at the difference between that and that. This one, my eye wants to go up to the sky. I don't want it to go up to the sky. I want it to stay on the birds, the ocean, and like all the prettiness and the reflections and the shadows. Like this is kind of a nice dichotomy of light in terms of having the reflections and also having the shadows. Just kind of plays with your perspective a little bit. Have you ever seen those pictures that like have taken of like a camel in the desert with the shadows? Have you ever seen one of those pictures?
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend. Do you know, or if not, I'm going to show you. No. Yeah. I'd rather you say no, and I show you here. I'll show you. So you see these pictures taken the whole time. I'll show you. So you're gonna be like, what on earth is this? So you see pictures taken like this, which is the same dichotomy of light. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Here, you'll see a picture like this.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Figure out what's going on. It's an illusion. See that I've seen, I cannot tell you how many of these camel pictures I've seen from the desert. And with these long shadows, they're taken from above or like this. This is a really cut. You see something that looks like that. Because the camel is so skinny, you can't really see the camel, and you're just seeing the shadow, like this one. Anyway, it just reminded me seeing the dichotomy. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about the camel pictures. Because the sun gets very low and the shadows get really broad, and you can trick the mind. It's an optical illusion. But you see, there's a big fight. I can't remember what the photographer's name is, but there's one guy who's done a whole series like these. And obviously they're really interesting, and you look at them and you can't quite figure out what's going on. Especially because the desert is so empty, like the background is so like sparse, doesn't have a lot of distracting things. So then you really notice it. And there's also, I mean, like you'll see hundreds of these types of pictures. They're kind of fun. So now you know what someone means when they say the desert. I mean, I wasn't very clear. The desert shadow camel pictures. Here we go. And the picture that whoever this was who took this, and I'm now intrigued to know who it was. But I think there's a lot of interest going on in this front portion. The front portion is the picture here, not the. In fact, as a reminder, plain blue sky in photography is kind of boring. Like we generally don't like plain blue sky because there's not much there. Anything with clouds, different. Unless you're trying to be like really fine art, and like you'll see some fine art pictures that will be like this. And they'll make it all about the negative space and just filling the frame with this negative space. There's no rules, but I will say in general, the way that light works, plain blue skies are boring for photographers. Like landscape photographers don't like going out and photographing when it's a plain blue sky. Partly just because there's no texture in here, but also just the way light refracts. Like if you have a sunset and it's a plain blue sky, it's not going to be nearly as interesting as if you have a sunset with some clouds. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Look at the shutter speed. 1/3200. Really good. Now the photo I would argue here is a tweeny bit. You've done an amazing job, whoever took this, of completely. Where are you? You're in Nantucket. Of completely freezing these flags. I like the angle. I like the perspective. I like that you've tilted it, that you haven't just shot straight up at the flagpole. Watch out for chopping the edge of the stars and stripes off. Like, I would be careful on that flag. Like, GCA would ding you for that, definitely, if you submitted this to a show. But I'd also be like intrigued to come in on this. You don't have to show the whole flag. We know what the flag is. Maybe just show those two. Just giving you some ideas. Maybe even just show the American flag. Maybe even just show like, if I want to be artistic about things, why can't I go like this?
Yeah.
Like even maybe take out that blue edge. Oops. Take out that blue edge. But go more kind of like that. Just to create something a bit more abstract and artistic. But the hard part was done here by using the fast shutter speed. Whose was this? Oh, well, it's definitely one of someone who's on this. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to go back and have a look. But the interestingly, look, this photo I would argue is a teeny bit too bright. Okay, so it's a teeny bit too bright. Karen, what do you think the photographer could have done to make it a little bit darker?
Well, increase the ISO.
Let's think about that. What does increasing the ISO do?
Oh,
Well, that would darken it,
That would,
Lighten
what-
it.
lighten it. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm reversing it.
don't worry. So this is the one, the easy one I hope to remember. And we only just learned it last time. When you push up the ISO, remember that's like turning up the dimmer switch. It's making everything brighter inside your camera. When you turn it down, it makes everything darker. So wrong answer. Isabella, what do you think? If you were taking this
I'm
picture and you noticed it was too bright, then it's because the sun is right here coming in. What do you think you could have done?
I would have decreased the ISO.
Okay,
Hold on.
definitely. Yeah, that is the correct line of thinking. The problem is you're at the lowest the ISO goes. It doesn't go any lower than this.
I would take it at a different time of day.
Okay, but we had no choice. We were in this place one time and one time only. I'll give you a clue. Which one of these two numbers do you think it is? Which one have I taught you? You've got 1 over 3,200, and this other number that's not going to mean much to some of you, f1.8.
I don't know what that one is. The one on the left.
You got it. It's the shutter speed.
Yeah.
So
I
what
changed that.
yeah, so what would you do? Would you slow it down or speed it up?
I would. I'm looking at my phone. I would speed it up.
You would speed it up, correct. So you'd go to the left on your Lightroom app. You'd make this 1 over, let's say, 4,000, 1 over 5,000. That would make this photo be correctly exposed.
Yeah.
Plus, Iris, what would that do to the flat? So it would make your photo go from there to there, which is better.
yeah, it would make it darker.
It would make it darker. And what would it also do to the motion of the flag?
It would capture.
Capture it, yeah. It would make it even more crisp.
Yeah.
More crisp than we've already got it. So it would have the double benefit of darkening the picture from an overexposed picture. It's only a tiny bit overexposed. Plus, it would have made the flag really crisp. But you guys can see that looks a bit washed out.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot when we photograph in the middle of the day or at like suboptimal lighting conditions, where you'll need to speed up the shutter speed to cut the amount of light that gets to the camera. Because there's so much ambient light, there's all this light, and we need to like say to the camera, I only want you to receive a tiny bit of this because otherwise it's too overwhelming. But good shot, whoever took this. Nice job. Hopefully you're on the recording. Look at this guy. Okay. Now this one's interesting. Look at the shutter speed. So this is taken on an iPhone 15. Firstly, I probably wouldn't have put the dog right in the middle, and that's hard because the dog's running and you don't really know where he's going to run. So I probably would have like offset the dog like over here, for example. Like I think that just feels more balanced. What do we think? Is the dog frozen in this picture?
Well, he's a little out of focus.
Yeah. Look at I think he's not out of focus. I think he's blurred towards why is he blurred?
He's moving.
He's moving. What's wrong with this?
Could be faster.
We could make it a lot faster.
Good. It's too slow. It's too slow. It's fast, but it's not fast enough. Remember, I gave you these guidelines last time. I'm going to rewrite them here. Anywhere between 1/125 and 1/500, of which this is in the middle, is like your everyday shutter speeds. Like, I'm not trying to do anything crazy creative. I'm not trying to freeze my dog. I'm not trying to show the American flag completely like crisp. Remember, I said we as humans see at 1/100th. Anything above 1/500 is considered a fast shutter speed. And that's what we need for capturing movement, especially fast movement like this. And anything below 1/125 is considered a slow shutter speed. And that's what we need to show movement. So the range that you kind of want to hang out in 90% of the time is like 1/125 to 1/500. I think that was another dog picture here. Oh yeah, I put them next to each other on purpose. There we go.
Oh,
Okay. So whose dog's the one on the right? Thank goodness we have mystery people who are.
I know.
Well, there's definitely these have all been sent to me, so they've been sent to me by you guys. Does everyone else see their pictures here? I just suddenly worried that I'm showing the wrong garden club, the wrong thing.
No, I see one of my pictures up at the top. I see some of them.
Isabella, you see yours?
I'm not sure. Maybe the one at the bottom on the left, but I don't think so.
Any.
Is that yours?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Everyone's. I think I got everyone's other than Mariette.
Yeah, mine are there.
Cass, I don't think you sent me
Mine's
one.
mine.
I didn't.
No, it's fine. So no, I'm in the right presentation. This is right. And
We love you regardless. It's all good.
no, you're making me like second guess myself. I'm like, no, this is definitely the right. Because I was teaching another garden club this morning. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't showing you their pictures twice. I was like, definitely not doing that. Anyway, so interesting. Look at these two dogs. Okay, let's look at the settings between them because they're taken with different settings.
oh yeah, big difference.
Okay, which one has the better shutter speed?
One on the right.
The one on the right.
Yeah.
2000. Now it has when the photographer took the picture of the dog on the right, 1/2000th, did that make the picture brighter or darker? Does that let in less light or more light?
Less light.
Less light.
You got it. So this one on the right instantly, because of 1/2000, becomes darker. What's the photographer had to do with their ISO? Look at the difference.
Open it up a little bit. Oh,
Increase it massively, right? It's gone
Yes.
from 80 to 2000. Okay. That's to cope with the fact that 1/2000 let in very little light. What do we know, Kate? What can you remember? What does, when I increase the ISO too much, what does it create in the picture?
When you increase the ISO too much, it creates, I don't know.
What would you complain about if I was banging the drums right next to you in your house? You would say that, oh, your gardeners were creating too much what?
Oh, yes, noise.
You got it. Good. So, and that's what I can see in that dog there.
oh,
Okay. And that is a unavoidable thing that we often get when we're freezing motion at fast speeds. Now, Lightroom, the Lightroom on your computer, has an amazing button that you can press a button and it gets rid of all the noise. It uses AI and it takes out all the noisy pixels. But again, like depending on what, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the class, depending on what camera you have, or even what iPhone you have, iPhone 13 compared to iPhone 17, you can get the ISO much higher. This picture though is great. I mean, but you can see, hopefully you can see the dog on the right looks a bit crisper. The dog on the left. Also, for both of them, what's kind of interesting is the dogs. Imagine my pen is the dogs. and the dog's moving at 5 miles an hour. The dogs are moving from back to front towards you. That means you actually have a lot more time to capture the shot than if it's moving at the same speed, but it's moving across the frame,
Of course.
where it's like in and out. So whenever we have movement laterally from left to right or right to left, you always need a much faster shutter speed than when something's coming towards you. See this trick used a lot. Lots of people who photograph kids and animals will position themselves so the dog, the kid, is running towards them. A, because you get that engagement where you look into the dog's eyes or you look into the kid's eyes. But B, it's a lot easier to capture than trying to capture something that's going across the frame. But these two are really good for me to show you as an example next to each other in terms
So
of
what would ideally be on the right side?
as
If
in
you were,
from the
Mhm.
settings perspective.
Yeah.
I think probably the shutter speed was probably a little bit too fast here. I didn't think it needs to be this fast. I probably would have come to 1/1000, which I think would have been, it's still 1/1000th of a second. That's really quick. That would have allowed the ISO to go to 1000.
Because ultimately, you always want to have the ISO as low as it can be, correct?
Yes, but at the same time,
Yeah.
if movement is a non-negotiable, Cass, and you have to freeze the movement, I'd much rather have the movement frozen and have some noise and just get rid of the noise afterwards than have the dog's legs and head blurry.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example. I used to photograph when I lived in San Francisco. Sometimes I did some stuff for the Warriors, right? Basketball. Dark in there. Like I used to go to Chase Arena or basketball arena. Like the camera hates you. But I have to get Steph Curry hitting his three-pointer and I have to get it like perfectly sharp. I'm having to use shutter speeds that are really fast, like 1/4000th of a second, because those guys are moving like insanely quickly. My ISO would often have to go up to like 5,000, which my camera can handle. It would be a bit noisy, but then I'd have to get rid of the noise afterwards. But I'd rather do that than say, oh, actually, I'm scared of lifting my ISO up, and my ISO is going to be 1,000, and I'm going to photograph at 1/800, and then Steph Curry's legs are blurry. Which is not what I want. Kate, you're on. I see you got a question, but you're just on mute.
Yeah. So on both of these, you have an f-stop 2.8, and I know that you said that doesn't matter. Is that just an automatic setting then on your camera?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's
Okay.
well. I'm going to show you one thing. There's a couple of. I'll show you in a minute.
Couldn't we change those too?
You can't.
Should we be
You
considering
can't.
that when you're looking at ISO and
Yeah, unfortunately, on an iPhone, you can't change the aperture. You can't make the hole bigger or smaller like you can on a traditional camera. And it's just because of the mechanics of how an iPhone lens is built. There's no option for this to basically manually open or close as there is on a traditional camera.
So the only reason that's there is just to tell you
It
that
was
it's
just
at
automatic.
2.8.
It was just automatic. Yeah, the
Okay,
iPhone
just
just the iPhone actually did it as big a hole as possible because it knew you were using a fast shutter speed. But
Okay.
what's interesting about that, I'll actually just before I lose my train of thought on that, is let's just look at one of these beats. Let's look at this guy. Okay. So when at the moment everything I've shown you how to control primarily focuses on shutter speed and ISO. We can't change this F number. And I haven't even, for most of you, this F number may not mean anything because I haven't even brought it up because it's unnecessary because I know you can't change it on the iPhone. But what is maybe important to know is shutter speed is all to do with movement. ISO, the side effect is noise. All three of these things, first of all, their main job, before I actually draw this, their main job is they control the amount of light that gets to the camera. Each one has like what I like to call a creative side effect. Movement is shutter. We know that. We spent a lot of time on that. ISO is noise. We introduced that last time. The creative side effect of aperture is something called depth of field. And this you can change on your iPhone. You just can't change it in the traditional way like you can change it on a camera. I'll show you how to do it in a second. Anyone got any idea what depth of field means?
Well, the distance from the photographer and the subject.
Nope.
Nope.
How much you want?
What's in focus?
Yeah, good. So let's write this down because this is a big, you'll see this come up again and again, is depth of field. So let me write the definition here. So depth of field. Often you'll see it referred to just as DOF. Depth of field means if we're standing at the beach here taking a picture, and we're here, it's how much of the scene from the front to the back is sharp. Let's just imagine we were taking a picture of a flower. A lot of the time, when we take pictures, we want what's called a shallow depth of field. We want just everything in my pink lines to be sharp, and we want everything in front and behind it to be blurry. It's called a shallow depth of field, i.e. I just get the subject shot. Portrait photographers use it the whole time. Still life photographers, floral photographers. You put the main subject, that's the 1, 2, 3 tap that I've taught you for the iPhone. Conversely, sometimes we're at the beach and we want the whole thing in focus. We want a large depth of field. We want everything from the front to back to be sharp. And you've never been able to control depth of field properly on an iPhone until Lightroom brought something out about, when was it, like October, beginning of October. There was a way to do it, but it wasn't very good. And now I'll show you a good trick here. Open up the Lightroom app in your phone, please, and go to the camera. Excuse me. Okay, let me know once you're there. Okay, and once you've opened the camera, I want you to just find something on your desk or your table, or find something, turn around and spin around and look at your room. Like, find a subject. Find a subject that to be honest, it can be the computer. It can be you guys looking at me. It just needs to be subject where there's some definition between the subject and the background. I'm still here, I'm just turning a light on. If you hit on where it says auto, okay.
Where is this what?
So there's a whole section that says EXP, SEC, shutter speed, ISO, auto, WV.
Yeah.
And then the last one there says auto. I want you to click on it.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're going to get a slider. I want you to point at the subject that you're taking a picture of, and I want you to slide that slider.
Whoa.
What you're going to see is you're suddenly going to see a whole load of green lines on your picture.
Yeah.
And you're going to see green lines around the thing that you're taking a picture of. And the green lines are going to, like, depending on how far or how little you slide the slider, it's going to be different for all of you. You're going to get to a point where there's suddenly like green lines around, like if you point at the computer screen where there's like green lines around everything. And then you're going to go past that point and the green lines are going to kind of go fadey and they're going to start going behind your computer. And before that, they're going to go in front of your computer. Where the strong green lines are, this is something that you can actually put, if you have a traditional camera, you can put on it, that's called focus peaking. Peaking. I think this will be new for most of you. So this is, let me just write it down. So focus peaking is just the digital overlay that shows you what's in or out of focus. Where the green lines are. This is not good, by the way, for trying to photograph a running dog or a galloping horse, because they're moving in and out of the planes of focus too quick. But for something like this, or anything where something's not, if you take a picture of a rose and you want one petal to be sharp or you want the whole thing to be sharp, this is really cool because suddenly, I've never had the ability to do this, you can control where your plane of focus sits within the frame. And you can control, does it cover just a portion of the frame or does it cover a whole part, big part of it? Is it a shallow depth of field? It's just a small part because I want the rose to be sharp and everything behind it blurry. Or is it a landscape where I want the whole thing to be in focus like this?
Adam, why, when I hit auto, it isn't responding. It stays light gray.
What
Everything
iPhone? What
lit.
iPhone? What iPhone have you got? What iPhone, Karen? What iPhone have you got?
15.
And what lens?
Try making sure the lens is on the W. I'm interested. Has anyone else got a 15, or has everyone else got newer? It may be that you can't do it on the 15, Karen.
No, well, I can.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you should have it. Is
Okay.
it just, Karen, it's just grayed out. You can't click on it.
It's not responding when I tap it.
We start the app again.
Everything else is lit, but I
Close,
tried
close, close the app and start it again.
Okay.
If you're
Has,
on
it-
top, it
has,
won't work.
has everyone else got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is really like, you can find like a subject. Let's just imagine it's my Gatorade bottle. And you can literally you can control. I just put the green lines around my Gatorade bottle and everything else is going to go totally blurry.
Okay. That made the difference. Just turning it on.
Good.
Turning it off. Okay.
There we go. Good. Okay. And then you can see the green lines, Karen, okay?
Yes.
Everyone else see them? Marietta, you got them okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Good. So in a situation like this, we can say, we're at this big beach scene, and I want like the whole thing to be in focus, which you can see didn't happen here because you weren't controlling it. It kind of went blurry as you went further back. So I've just added like the equivalent of having aperture, but you can't control aperture on the camera. You can't control the light, but you can control the depth of field, which is really exciting, really good. Because again, it's giving you another like level of manual control that you've never had before on your phones. And you can practice with it, you can play around with it, and you'll see when you slide the slider, if you look at the top of your phones, you'll see it says manual focus, and there'll be a percentage. One thing, just a lot of people will slide the slider, take a photo, and then put their phone to sleep and not use it for a couple of hours, and then they'll come back. You have got to go back. Like the number will stay. I can't show you this actually.
Oh.
The number will stay on that percentage. You've got to remember. So after you've done it, I always say to people, slide it all the way back to the left. Feel a little feel the little vibration, and put it back on auto.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone going? So it's very easy to understand this. It's just where the solid green lines are going around the landscape. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So this picture here, hoping one of you took this.
Mine.
So Karen took this picture. Okay. Nice picture. S-curve running through the frame. Nice rule of thirds, 2/3 landscape, 1/3 sky. Compositionally looks great. Not sure about, I probably would have kicked this twig or whatever this was out of the way. Or just picked it up and moved it. But interesting, Karen, why did you use this shutter speed, 1/800?
Well, I wanted a little more light. I wanted to capture the waves a little better.
Good, that's what I was hoping you were going to say. So Karen's chosen to use 1/800 here. Now, I'd argue that you're at the moment here, you're a little bit in no man's land. Your shutter speed is fast, but these waves are moving pretty quickly and they're moving left to right. You're not shooting like standing at the beach looking out on the horizon.
Oh, sure.
I think this needed to go for, and you can see there's lots of these areas that are very white. This needed to go faster, let's say to there. Cass, what does that do to the photo? Brighter or darker? From 1/800 to 1/1600?
It's going to be darker.
Good. Marietta, what do we therefore have to do to the ISO? Go up or down? You can just use your finger, up or down.
Down.
Hey.
No, but if you're adjusting that one, don't you have to move the other one down to compensate?
Yes, let's think about it. So we're going from 1/800, okay, to 1/1600 of a second. That makes the picture darker, but
Okay,
it's going to make the waves crisper.
right.
So remember I said ISO is like the dimmer switch in your camera. The lower
Right.
the number, the darker the dimmer switch, the higher the number, the brighter the dimmer switch. What do you think do I have to turn the dimmer switch up, or the picture's going to go like that?
Yeah, you turn it down.
No.
Wait, the
You say-
ISO, the ISO you wanted to, well, if,
Think about
Okay.
it. Look
okay,
at
so
hold
the
on,
shutter
hold on.
speed is,
The shutter speed is getting faster, so it makes the picture darker like that. Okay.
right, right.
Now, if I'm looking at that picture, do I need to turn the light dimmer switch up, or do I need to turn it down?
Yeah, you have to turn it up.
You got it. So I got to turn it up. And the way that we turn it up from there to there is increasing the ISO, not
Isn't it?
decreasing it. The
Hmm.
ISO would go to like 400. Marietta, you're right. It's compensating. So the shutter speed's making it darker,
Mhm.
but then we got to make it back brighter again by using the ISO, by lifting the ISO up.
Right,
If we made it darker and then we turn the ISO down, it's going to get even darker.
right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, good. So that probably I probably would have done that, Karen, when you took the
Mhm.
picture. I think that would have made a difference. Let's go back to these guys. So these were really good. Whoever sent
Yeah.
these, nice
Wow.
job.
Wow.
Now,
Good.
interesting on this one, why is the bird's wings blurry, but the bird is sharp?
The
Anyone got
body is moving faster.
Say that again, Karen, sorry.
The body's moving faster.
Other way around. The wings are
Yeah.
moving
Wings
faster.
up.
Yeah. So the wings are moving faster. So the shutter speed here was great. This actually wasn't taken. This shutter speed is great, fast enough to freeze the bird,
But
not fast enough to freeze the wings. It's a great
Mhm.
capture. Really nice, like composed nicely. Image in the top right-hand corner looks really good. Same with this guy. Look at this one. This one's really crisp. Now, this one's interesting because again, it's the same principle. I put these next to each other on purpose. The wings are moving faster than the head. The bird is shaking. The shutter speed is fast enough to freeze the bird, but not fast enough to freeze the wings on its body. And that gives this like poetic movement, artistic effect. It's also kind of interesting with this one. It's amazing how much this had. If any of you guys ever watch like Planet Earth or any of those nature documentaries, you see red and green are complementary colors on the color palette, and it makes the bird stand out more. We find that like if I look at the color wheel here, I'll show you. Here's the color wheel on the right. Red and green basically sit opposite each other. They're complementary colors.
Mhm.
This one's really good. And I hope that's done intentionally. Let's look at this one. Yeah. This one's interesting. So this is lots of people you show this to and they'd say it's a mistake.
Hmm.
This is coming back to that. Do you remember the ICM stuff we practiced, the moving our cameras and people thought we were crazy in the live view? This is this. Now, arguably, it creates a more interesting picture. I don't like how the guy's foot and the girl's foot are cut off at the bottom. GCA wouldn't like that either. I'd probably crop it down more. In fact, maybe crop it here so I don't see so much of the street light. But this is just, I'm not saying this is perfect, but it's just interesting in how we can create just by waving our cameras around. As I remind you, do this. You can't do that. You can do this in the Lightroom app, actually. Now you know. If you put your Lightroom camera shutter speed to maybe 1 second, and to Judy's point at the beginning of the class, you can't do that when it's really bright outside. But when it's dark and when it's blue hour, then you can get away with using slow shutter speeds and start being much more creative. Notice this is taken at blue hour. You hear me talk about that a lot. It's like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes after the sun went down. And the sky's got this like lovely cobalt blue. So don't be afraid to experiment with slow shutter speeds at darker environments. Like Judy, you could go and you could be at home or you could be walking in the woods or a forest. Like it's much easier to use slow shutter speeds then than if you're on the beach with no shade.
Okay.
Back to the flag again. Whoever did this did crop it nicely. I like this crop. 1/1500. Nicely put on the right-hand side of the frame. Looks great. No real negative. Maybe top of the flagpole could either be cropped more or a little bit more room, but I really like how it's offset to the left. And the shutter speed's really good. Let's take a look at this one. The model railway somewhere. Okay, who's
Me.
who's
Mine. Isabella.
Isabella. Okay. Isabella, where is the light coming from when you took this picture?
Probably not where it needed to be.
Yeah. Can you tell me where's it coming from?
Probably in front of me.
Yeah, so it's coming in front of you. So the camera's having a really hard time balancing that out. Like trying to kind of say, I'm trying to get the bright sky and I'm trying to get this like model railway and the fountain. The easy way around that, Isabella, what I would have done is just cropped out the whole sky. I just would have gone to that.
Yeah.
Where is this? Is this at Filoli?
It's the new bit at Filoli.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I used to work there the whole time. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'd never seen that. So I would have put and I think a crop like this works perfectly. Like there's an S curve, like the fountain and the train balance each other off. But the problem, and can you notice the color looks a little strange here?
Yeah.
It almost looks a little too green. That's because the camera, especially iPhones, hate when you shoot into the sun like this. Hate it. So they're trying desperately, the iPhone is trying desperately in a millisecond in 1/1250. Nice job, Isabella, on using the fast shutter speed to freeze the railway. But it's trying to make this instantaneous decision of what should the light be and what should the color be. When you shoot into the sun, an iPhone finds it very hard to nail the color. That's why this has gone green.
Okay.
You can play with this afterwards using something called white balance, but there's no real way around it when you take the picture. But all I would have done here, but like if you were standing here where these people are and you were pointing back this way, it would be the lighting would be perfect.
Yeah.
Just the light's coming from the wrong side, which again we can't always control. So I often say to people, just crop it out. You don't need it. It's just serving as a distraction here, taking our eye up to the big white space. But Isabella, it's a good one because you had two things moving here. You had the fountain and you had the train. And you can see how crisp, like everything, look at the train, you can read every word on the carriage. It looks like it's still, whereas I'm sure it wasn't still.
No.
There's also, I mean, to be honest, you could probably even really crop down on this. Just go to like here. You got tons of curves and lines, like this going through. The fountain kind of helps like frame the bottom right-hand corner, bring your eye up. Yeah, well done. Very good. And you intentionally put the shutter speed there fast, Isabella?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. That's a big improvement on last time. Nice job. Very good. Let's look at this one. Okay. So this one, again, bright part of the day. Very bright. Almost too bright here. Verging on too bright. This photo got sent to me a bit small. Watch out for your horizons being straight.
No, yes.
So horizon slightly off. With what I just taught you, is this yours, Karen?
Yes.
I'd love for you to use that new tool that I've just taught you with this slider with the green. I think that you can see that because you weren't in any control, the iPhone was just guessing. The
Well,
iPhone,
I'm sorry, I did hold and have it focused on where the river was going in, but
Here, right?
yes.
Yeah. The problem is
Yeah.
that sorry, when I say you weren't in control, you said, I want this to be sharp, right?
Hmm.
But you weren't in control of saying how much in front and behind of where I've set my focus point do I want to be sharp. So the camera in this instance has just guessed,
Hmm.
and it's only put a very small proportion really sharp. Happens the whole time. Now, generally in landscape photography, we want the opposite. I want these footprints and I want these hills in the back. I want everything to be sharp. That's where that tool can help you. So when you do the 1, 2, 3 tap, Karen, what you're doing is setting where imagine this is a plane of focus, and I can move it around, and anywhere I move it from front to back, that's me tapping. When you use that auto, what you're doing is you're deciding how big or how small is that plane of focus. Is it very large? Everything in my hands is in focus. Is it very narrow? That makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, and again, and also I would argue maybe this photo is just a tad too bright, just a tad. So I'm gonna ask Marietta again. Marietta, if this photo is too bright, so I need to tone down the darkness. I need to make it more dark. Does the ISO go up or does the ISO go down?
The ISO goes, if you want to make it brighter, did you say?
Darker, darker, darker.
Down.
Yeah, you got it. Good. So I think probably Karen would have benefited here by the ISO being more like 500. I think this looks a little bit washed out, especially the foreground of the beach. Like it should have been more like that before, after. Also the sky. You see how the sky is going a bit like wishy-washy?
Yes.
Definitely blue there. And it's very rare, one thing I'll tell you, it's very rare when it's bright and sunny outside, like this one and like this one, for example, where we
Also
need
mine.
where we need to use a higher. Let's see what your settings were on this one.
That's mine also.
Yeah, I'm just seeing what your settings were. So that your ISO was much lower here,
Yes.
which has actually made a huge difference, A, in the light, but also in how crisp the whole picture looks. Lower ISOs mean less noise, less dynamic range, sorry, more dynamic range, which means more contrast, more clarity, more color, which is exactly the difference you have between these two, these two landscapes. I mean, it also helps that the light is coming from a better place than the one on the right for you. I really like the one on the right. Nice job on finding that kind of getting low down, finding that little outlet, leading us out. There's a clear S curve down here. Really nice job, Karen. This is very good. Taking us out. And again, not showing all this blue sky up here. I don't need to see that. The interest was in the foreground. Look at this one. It's Karen's again, I think.
No.
No? Whose is this? No? Well, this one's a really good one to see. Because this one's amazing. This makes me hugely encouraged by whoever took this one. On the fact that you can get this water so frozen on an iPhone. This used to be impossible. You couldn't take a picture like this on an iPhone 2, 3 years ago.
Wow.
Look at the shutter speed. 1/10,000th of a second. You need a really bright day to be able to do this. But every bit of water is frozen. I love the abstractness of this. I'd be tempted on this one to even like start spinning it
Oh, sure.
and doing something creative.
Ooh.
Like something like this, then you really don't know what it is. It's like a painting. Was this yours, Judy? I'm intrigued to know who these pictures are from. There's obviously one person or two who've sent me a whole bunch of pictures, and who's not here today? I'm trying to figure out who's not here, who's usually
Maybe it
here.
was Julie Geikus.
Maybe.
That could
Yeah, I mean, some of them were iPhone. There were a couple on the
Julie.
on the camera. Yeah, it may have been. But look how cool this is. Look how abstract this is. This is a great build a frame picture with a really fast shutter speed. Go past that flag. Look at this one. Now, I actually purposely hid the shutter speed there. What do we think? Is the duck too dark or too bright?
Dark.
It's too dark.
I
Okay.
don't feel like that duck in the front's in focus.
Yeah, it's not quite as in focus as the one in back. I agree.
Is that
The focus is pulled to the one with the orange beak at the back.
Mhm.
Now,
Your eyes really pulled to his beak and his feathers.
yeah, I probably would crop this and just include this guy.
I should say her beak and feathers.
Beak, sorry. And one thing I'll tell you that I haven't told you before is a great photographer's trick for when the shadows of your photo are too dark. This is the shadows because it's the duck's head. Is ISO predominantly works in the shadows of your picture. So if ever you're taking a picture of something shadowy like this, where like everything else looks fine, but the duck's head is clearly too dark, and I'm like, that's a shadow, a dark part of the picture. If you dial up the ISO, it will work to lift the shadow of the duck.
no?
ISO predominantly, just the way it works primarily in the shadows. It's really interesting.
Because then you can all of a sudden see his eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But the way to get there would not be to slow down the shutter speed. The way to get from that to that would be to increase the ISO.
Or good editing.
Or good editing, but I'd rather you get it right. But I'd much rather you get it right in the camera.
Can you talk at all about the when you're about to take the picture? I'd be playing with the ISO, and I would get a chart. How does that chart help me by looking at the activity of that? That seemed to
talking about
where
this,
it peaked.
you're talking about this thing.
Peak would change. Is
That-
that too complicated or?
Yeah, it's another conversation that I don't think I'm going to be able to tell you in the next 15 minutes. I
Okay.
feel like I need a good half an hour. Right? It's called the histogram, but it's a humongous topic in photography. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. It shows where the distribution of light is from shadows to highlights. It basically shows you where's like how much bright stuff do you have in your photo and how much dark stuff do you have. So for example, if I just screw this up and I make this really dark, and I look at the histogram is a professional photographer's way of getting the light right in our picture. We have a phrase that says the histogram never lies. This is showing me that in this picture at the moment, all the information is living in the shadows. Nothing's in the highlights. If I go the other way, then it all goes over on the other side to the bright
How
part.
are we pulling up the histogram on our app?
Good question. Because I didn't, you have to toggle that on. You were getting it when you were just playing around, Karen.
Yes.
Because you,
It was experimenting while I would just see that the chart above. I was trying to figure out how that correlated to, giving me the
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to see how you turned it on. It's a great question. Were you seeing a chart or were you seeing like zebra lines? Because I think
Both.
if you, I'm just saying if I get the histogram.
I was getting the zebra lines, and that's why I would change the ISO.
Yeah. So this is a good. So if you go in the camera, everyone. On the very top right-hand corner of the camera of the picture you're taking. So open the camera. On the very top right-hand corner are three vertical lines. Three vertical circles. Click on them. And then a little side menu is going to come down, and I want you to hit the triangle.
Wait. Can you be kind and start again?
Of course. So go open the camera in Lightroom.
Yep.
On the very top right-hand corner are three vertical circles making a line. Three vertical circles.
I haven't got them.
Everyone else got it?
I don't have three vertical circles.
Really?
As if you're going to take a picture.
Yeah, top right.
Yeah, I know.
It's like up. It's like up here. No, it's annoying. It doesn't show it.
Done. Wait. Let me show you.
Open the camera.
Open the camera.
Right, here's the
My
camera.
phone.
Yep, and then right here, those three.
Oh, sorry,
And then
blind.
here's the triangle.
Yeah. Okay, thank
Okay, we
you.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now point your cameras as if you're going to take a picture of the duck on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, which is way too bright.
Mhm.
You're going to see that you get all these funny zebra-looking lines across your picture. Okay,
Yeah,
everyone see that?
yeah.
This is an indicator for you of like when Isabella took that picture like of the railroad in Filoli, like she would have seen that the sky was too bright. If I take this back down, those zebra lines are going to disappear if you're still pointing at the screen. When I make it really bright, they're going to come back.
Right.
They are a warning to stop you, what we call it in photography. It's like going a bit more advanced than I probably need to here, but they're a warning to stop you doing something called blowing out the highlights, which means overexposing the bright parts of your picture. Make sure you turn it off afterwards, but it's good to know that's there. That's very good for when you're doing like landscapes with skies.
Okay.
Very easy to overexpose the skies.
Mhm.
Okay?
But we can't actually on the app get a histogram.
I don't think so. No, I've never seen that before.
Okay.
Okay? Look at these ones.
Ooh.
Fun.
It's a good one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Really good, but it's too dark.
Ah,
Okay? So we've got the freezing of the waves and the freezing of the birds. What's the one thing we just need to do here? To turn
Put in
up the dimmer switch.
Yeah.
No, but what as in I'm recreating here, but if you were doing it on the camera, what would you change?
The
It's easy.
light.
Yeah, ISO.
That's it. You just dial up the ISO. The ISO gets brighter. The non-negotiable here is using 1/2000th of a second. Because I want the water and I want the birds to be really like sharp and crisp. But the ISO has tons of room to come up here. And actually, if you look at this one, it did come up. It went from 40 to 100. Look at the difference. If I put this back to where it was. Look how dark that was. And then whoever took this, really nice job on correcting it. Everything else is the same.
Yeah.
They've realized their mistake and they've increased the ISO. This is really great, really encouraging. You've turned up the dimmer switch and made the photo appear brighter. So this is a good example. And then if we look at this one again, this one, really cool picture, but too dark.
Mhm.
The shutter speed went really fast on this one to really play with the waves. I bet this is Carmel Beach, but you see and you recognize these birds? Anyone? Yeah, these guys. Well, I don't mean recognize them individually, but as in recognize the type of bird.
Yeah.
But I like the kind of the S curve looking down the shore. Again, though, look at this. So the shutter speed here has gone crazy fast. 1/6800th of a second.
Outside of the recommended range.
Well, not necessarily. But you just need to know that it's going to make your picture darker. So what do you need to do to the ISO? Turn it up. Increase it. Goes to 200. Picture looks absolutely perfect straight out of camera. So it's understanding how your shutter speed and ISO are constantly like in a tug of war with each other. And if you make the shutter speed too fast, the picture's going to get darker, but then you have to turn the ISO up. Make the shutter speed too slow, the photo is going to get brighter, but then you have to turn the ISO down. It's there to help us be able to get movement exactly how we want it. Let's take a look at these two. I think are these yours, Isabella?
No.
No, they're mine. I'm sorry. They're pretty boring.
No, they're not boring at all. It's fine. It's actually it's really good. It shows me that you experimented.
I was.
So let's ask Iris, what's the main difference in these two photos? Like spot the difference. What's the difference?
oh, the way the The water is captured.
Very good. So the water is captured differently.
Yeah.
Which one? I'm gonna hide the. I don't want to give it away. Which one has the faster shut? Okay, I'll do show of hands. Who thinks the faster shutter speed is the one on the left?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone disagree? Okay, who thinks it's the one on the right? No one. Good. You're all correct. Nice job. So the faster shutter speed here on this one, 1250, they switched around, and I think you could have gone even faster here, Julie. Maybe you did. But I mean, if you could have gone up to 1,2000, 4000, just dialed up the ISO, and then we really would have been able to. You're already getting there where you're seeing every little bit of water. And here you're starting to see the motion on the other side.
Right.
Really good. Look at this one.
Nice.
Is this yours, Isabella?
Yeah.
Okay, Isabella, I'm worried one thing is wrong on your camera. Because all of your photos are looking a little green.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the Lightroom app on your phone.
What?
The Lightroom app.
I thought you said the microphone app.
No, the
You
light.
both speak the same language.
I was going to say,
Okay.
I can't say to you that it's my accent.
Okay, I'm here.
So we're going to go to the light, and actually you can all do this at the same time. It's interesting for you to see. Go to the
I have
Lightroom
my
app,
assistant.
okay,
Yeah.
and then the fourth one along at the bottom says WB, which means white
Yes.
balance. What does yours say? What does yours say when you click on it, Isabella?
It says
Auto. You're on
auto.
It was an auto, AWB?
It was correct.
Oh, okay. Well, then the problem I thought you were having, you're not having. I thought you'd accidentally clicked on one of these, which if you click on them, you can click on them, you'll see, I'm not going to go into it now, but you'll see the temperature of the light, the color of the light is going to change. My suspicion is this looks like the white balance is off.
I'm sorry.
I know, but
But
why?
accidentally, you may have tapped this, Isabella. Make sure
Okay,
that
I have my expert.
You may have tapped it by
Right.
accident, but
I think you tapped.
see this white balance actually,
Yeah.
it's on cloudy, but I think that was just where we were. But it was on auto before.
Yeah.
But it's an easy thing to accidentally tap. And
Yeah,
I think this whole and your other one as well, both of them look too green.
Mhm.
Like the white
Maybe
balance.
they really.
Yeah,
Was she-
the white balance just looked off. Like it looks way. I think by accident something's got tapped there. I can't be 100% certain, but I don't think that the picture would have come out like this in auto white balance. So everyone make sure you're on AWB.
Did you edit it at all before you sent it to him? No. Okay.
Let's look at this one.
That's mine.
That's beautiful.
It's really good. Now, which one do we think has the slower shutter speed? The one on the left or the one on the right? Because the water kind of looks the same. So the
It
giveaway
does.
is the one on the right is brighter. So which
Mhm.
one's got the slower shutter speed? The one on the right or the one on the left?
That one, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Good. So let's pull them up next to each other with the
I
same.
like that one a lot.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Okay, look. So the one on the right, 1,500. Turn up the shutter speed, 1,800. Much better exposure. The one on the
See?
right.
yeah.
Pretty
But I was playing at the fountain, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. No, I can see your play.
Nice. Really pretty.
And I want you to play. This is really great. Really good, Isabella. And a picture
So awesome.
like this, you cannot take in the native Apple camera app. Just wouldn't come out like this. Like with
It
the
wouldn't
water
come
like
out
this.
as pretty as that.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be doing what you've done to the water,
Mhm.
controlling the movement of the water. Again, I would be interested, Isabella, I don't know if this is somewhere near you, but if you're back here or you're like taking it like that, straight away you're creating a really artistic picture with kind of the waterfall.
Yeah,
falling
it's
overhead.
quite a long hike up there.
Come on.
Well, luckily you're only carrying your phone and you're not carrying a ton of photography
I'm
equipment.
joking.
Is it actually a hike or is it very close?
It's in Garland Park and yeah, I mean, it's 45 minutes, so it's not very far.
And then let's bring in, I haven't forgotten about you, Marietta. I'm gonna bring in Marietta's photos here. Let's just quickly import them in and we can take a look at them. Da, 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 da. So lazy. Anyone got any questions just while I'm bringing these in?
No,
So-
I was trying to figure out how I when I looking at all, if I take a series of pictures, what the settings were, and I found the little information.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Aye.
that's what Cass turned on by mistake, and she wants to
By
turn that.
mistake, they went on all my pictures.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at Marietta's here. Okay, I'm going to start purposely with this one. Okay,
Ah.
so really pretty sunset. Love the silhouettes here. Are these things moving in the picture? What do we think? I mean, it's a rhetorical question. I'm asking it to the group. Is most of the things in this picture moving? Are most of the subjects moving?
No.
No.
No, they're not moving. They're hardly moving. It's a great composition and it's a really pretty sunset. But Marietta, with this settings, you photographed it as if there's a cheetah running through the picture. So and especially because it was sunset or sunrise and it was dark to begin with, you've gone and the camera's gone, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Marietta has basically let in no light. And it's so dark to begin with. What's the only alternative? Well, the only option then is you have to push up the ISO. You have to turn it up, turn it up, turn it up to compensate for the fact that you're using a fast shutter speed in low light. The byproduct of that is you start to get all this digital noise, this stuff down here. So you would have got the composition and the way that you've taken this, and I'd even be tempted to, there's tons of ways I'd probably take this picture. I'd probably be interested to take it and just even have the kind of the interesting stump and the church down there and just crop it like that. I think is kind of interesting because it becomes abstract and like you don't really know what's going on. But you could have taken exactly the same picture at maybe 1/60th. The camera wouldn't have then freaked out on you, and your ISO could have come all the way down to 100. No noise. You would have had none of these speckles. Also, the colors and everything of the sunset would have looked crisper because when we push up the ISO, we decrease how vibrant color looks, we decrease the clarity, we decrease the contrast. This whole picture is all about the sunset. Like I want the colors to look like this, right? Like, but you can see what I talked about before. Noise lives predominantly in the shadows. You see it in the sky, but you really see it in this. Is this a tree trunk, Marietta? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, stump of a tree. Let's see, because I saw you played around with. So this one was even harder for the camera. So this is sometimes they say people use noise for creative effects. This is the noise. This one we'll put in MoMA. This is the kind. Sometimes you see people and they shoot with like ISO 50,000 purposely to make it look like this. But obviously what you can see has happened here is you've really decreased the clarity, you've decreased the contrast, you've decreased the color because you've had to, the iPhone can't go up to these numbers. It's just not possible. It's just not, the camera's just not good enough. And again, it's because the shutter speed for the time of day you're taking it, especially that there's nothing moving, was way too fast. And it looks like, Marietta, you actually went to the two extreme ends of the spectrum because this one's great. But you didn't go in the middle. And actually, for this particular scenario, if you just had wanted to capture a pretty sunset, you would have gone right in the middle. 1/125 to 1/500. This one's great though. This is intentional camera movement. And Marietta, to Judy's point, like using a slow shutter speed is hard because it often makes the picture too bright. Well, here, when the light was much darker to begin with, it's much easier to use a slower shutter speed. And here we can clearly see that Marietta has just moved her hand. You do that on purpose, Marietta?
Yes.
Good. So she's moved her hand to create this intentional camera movement, and we start to get this really like abstract, interesting kind of, almost looks like a multiple exposure, like two photos overlaid on top of one another. And it becomes really creative. And I would argue these are two very different pictures, but both are, it just shows you that you can take a picture of essentially the same thing. And when you start to play with shutter speed and experiment, then it can become a very different photo. Does that make sense, Marietta? That the medium ground, if you just wanted to capture the sunset, would have been a good place. Be careful, and that's I see so many people. It's a great mistake to make. They go too fast with the shutter speed when stuff's not moving, and then you're just putting pressure on the camera unnecessarily by like letting in basically no light, and especially when it's dark like this to begin with, the iPhone is just going to freak out and say, "Help! I don't know what to do. I'm going to push up the ISO as high as it can go."
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But even the one on the right, as I say, there's tons of ways we can get rid of the noise, but I'd rather you get it right in the camera.
Right.
Okay. Good. Anyone got any questions for me? So really reinforced shutter speed, ISO, brought in a couple of extra things today, brought in depth of field. I want you to play with that. In and out of focus, that manual focus, that's a huge thing on the iPhone. A few indicators like the focus peaking stuff to help you know whether something's underexposed or overexposed, but primarily that focus peaking is I want you to play with that now in conjunction with everything else. And I think, have we got another class or is this the last one in the series?
Looking right now.
Just one.
We have one more.
We've got,
I think we have one more.
Oh, maybe not.
no, I don't have one in my diary.
Oh, I guess not.
No, I don't. Cass, am I missing? I think this is the last one.
I'm looking.
It's the last one, yeah.
I don't have it. I don't have anything in my
Iris
diary.
knows, yeah. It's the last one, Iris.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just about to give you guys a theme.
Do it anyway.
We can try it.
Okay, I'm going to give you the theme anyway. Okay, I'm going to give you the theme of, I'm going to give you two themes. I'm going to give you the theme of bokeh, which is a good photography word, Bokeh. That means blur. That's the fancy photography word for blur. I'm going to encourage you to use that slider. And then I'm going to give you another theme. I don't think I've given you guys this theme. Tell me if I have. Have I given you guys the theme of decay?
What?
You're frozen.
Decay.
Couldn't hear.
You guys hear me?
Decay.
Decay.
Like something.
Hey.
Yeah, like something that's decaying.
Like dead.
It doesn't have to be completely dead, but there's lots. This time of year is a very interesting
For some reason,
exercise.
you're going in and out, Adam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's frozen right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
We
I know
have to see what he
Still
comes.
have-
He's coming in.
I'm
There
back.
he is.
Sorry,
The afternoon-
my internet doesn't switch it over.
Oh, there we are.
Okay, hold
So
on.
Adam, you remind us again if we wanted to continue with classes, how many you need?
Yeah.
right?
Let me just, I don't know if you heard me on the theme.
No.
Decay. So bokeh and decay. You can actually join those two up if you wanted to, but they can be separate. In terms of continuing classes, I need a minimum of 8. I usually say minimum of 10, but I can't remember how many we've got. How many people have we got here? 1, 2, 3.
We've got, I think, 10 in our class right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Usually it's minimum of 10, so 8 to 10.
Let me just make sure, Adam, but
I think there's 10 because I think there's 2 people who aren't here today.
yes, wait here, I'll tell you right
I can check. Well, I will kind of put it out to you guys. I'd love to continue maybe in the spring, like give you guys like a month or so to get like practicing and doing stuff. And perhaps what are we now, like February? I'd love to maybe see you guys all again in April. If that would work for everyone. What do you guys think?
I can't do anything until after the middle of April, but after that I can.
Well, it's Easter break and all that
Yeah.
too, so maybe we could,
Yeah, maybe we start like, I'm just looking here.
Anytime after the 15th.
Out of interest, what do you guys like this time, or would you
We had
guys?
11 of us, Adam, in this
Morning
class.
was better, but
I was going to say, would you rather morning?
Morning is better for some.
yes, way better.
Okay, so let me
Not for me.
hold on, while I've got you all on the phone, let me see what I can do here.
Why don't could we see after like April 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we do May?
Hold
Beginning-
on. Let me just have a look here.
Anytime after April 15th. It's just, oof.
Okay, so I'm going to try and keep you. Let's have a look. So I could do. How's Tuesdays for everyone?
No.
No.
Okay, well, that was a morning slot I had. That doesn't help. Okay, hold on. Before I throw out dates, what day of the week is preferable for everyone?
Mondays.
Monday.
I knew
Monday is good.
everyone wants Mondays. My Mondays are completely booked through it.
Tuesday would be great for me.
Wednesdays? How are Wednesdays for people?
No, I
How
can.
about Monday afternoons? Are you still?
So I could do like this normal Monday afternoon time, the 1 o'clock, and I could do the 20th.
Of April?
Mhm.
Yes, of April. Let me write this down. So I'm gonna forget. In fact, I'm just gonna put it in my diary for the time being. So I could do I think I would recommend maybe 4 more. Like, what do we do this time? Did we do 4?
Or
Yeah. That's what I would.
Nice.
That's what I would recommend. So I think we could do the 20th. Do you know what? I'm actually going to change it. Oh, no, let's do this. So let's do the 20th,
From 1 to 3?
1 to 3. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put this in my diary. Hold on. 1 to 3.
So we have 7 people here. All we need is one more person to join us. I mean, we'd love to have all 11.
Well,
join.
ideally, I'd like it to be 10, Cass. Yeah, if we could get it to the 10, that would be great.
If we make sure that we can try to talk those into it.
20th,
Uh-huh.
May 4th,
You?
2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can keep the 2 week cadence. Okay, I can do 18th, May 18th. And then let's have a look,
June
Memorial Day. And then May 1st, I can do May 1st.
June 1st.
June 1st.
June 1st, sorry, June 1st.
Okay, so the April 20th, May 4th. Okay, May 18th,
Mhm.
June 1st.
Yeah, April 20th, May 4th, May 18th, June 1st.
Yeah.
So everyone in this group, is everyone, yes?
so this
Yeah.
is the 1 to 3 time frame.
1
Yeah.
to
Yeah, sorry, Karen.
I'll
Same.
have, yeah.
I have a quick question.
Wait, 1 second, Isabella. Could we just see a show of hands of who's interested in this? Isabella, is your hand up? Yes.
Yes.
And Karen, is yours up?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
good. Okay, so we've got 7 of us now. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So what I will do is when I send out the recording tonight of the lesson, it's going to go out to you and the 3 other people who aren't here from today's class. I'll put these dates in the email along with the recording. Make sure everyone's happy with them. And then if you would be so kind, just do me a favor, because I just keep a spreadsheet and just make sure I've got all the attendees. Just send me a message back and saying, like, I'll count you guys all as you're in, but confirm for me. Just reply to my email and say, yes, would love to join, or just, yes, I'm in, or whatever. And then all being well, we would move forward with the first class on April 6th, which is like a month and a bit away, which works well. And then probably what works easiest is exactly like we did last time. You guys can just all pay me independently. And again, I can put details of that in the email, Venmo, Zelle, whatever's easier for you. And it would be, let me do my math right, so the same $55 per person per class. So it'd be 220 for the series of 4.
Why don't we call this Carmen by the Sea series? Let's see, this is our third class, right? Our third, isn't
Third
it?
trench. Yeah, third trench.
iPhone 3.
And let me ask you guys, because I could take you guys in a lot of different directions in terms of like what I could teach you. There's so much that you haven't learned. We could, and this wouldn't be all the lessons, but I could do a lesson on Lightroom on the computer if you wanted me to, but I don't have to. Like if Isabella says, I don't want to put it on my computer, then I'm not going to teach you guys how to do it on the computer, but it's an option. Um, there's also I could go a lot more. What I would probably plan to do, which I think is the best route here that's going to like please the whole audience, is to continue build conceptual, technical, like how to see better. Tons of stuff I haven't taught you yet. And there's tons of stuff on the, like, what can we do on our iPhones? Like, we're really like, we'll peel back a few layers of the onion, but there's a lot more to go. But what I will say to you guys is if we have like the lesson on the 6th and the lesson on the 20th, and you're like, hey, Adam, like, we'd love to learn Lightroom, like, I'm very open and I can be very malleable. I want to like teach you what you guys are going to get the most value out of. So you tell me and I will be steered by your priorities and your interests. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
That email to everybody, Adam, you could just, if they could list the things that are most important to them to learn.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So maybe everyone, when you reply, just send me a message and just say, "Hey, I'm in. Would love to learn." And if you don't know what the answer is to that, then that's fine. But if you have something specific that's been like bothering you, put it in the message, and then I'll make sure we incorporate that into the next series of classes. It's a good idea, Cass.
So we're just going to call this the CBTSGC, the Carmel by the Sea iPhone class series. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine. Call it whatever you want.
That way everyone will.
I'm not going to remember that to put that in the email.
I have a quick question.
Right now, Adam.
Hold on. What's the acronym again? That was way too. I can't take that in it.
I'll text you, but it's C Carmel.
Just text it to me.
Yeah.
Adam, I've got a question.
Sure.
Is there any way or not on the 20th we can do 2 to 4 rather than 1 to 3 or not? And does that work for anyone else or not?
It doesn't matter to me which way we
On that range, it doesn't matter.
It's
I could
not.
do,
I
could
can't.
do
Hold on. But the most important, the instructor can't. I can't do that. So I can.
Okay,
I can rule that out.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right.
got to work for them.
Okay.
Okay.
So I will see you guys on April the 6th.
No, 20th.
20th. Sorry. I was looking at. So I'll see you on the 20th at 1. And Boca and Decay. I'll put it all in an email.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, as in things dying, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna give you too much. I want you to interpret it, but it's like when it's cold, like
I
just
think I'm going with logs.
Okay, that's a more abstract theme. I'm pushing you guys to think a little bit out of the box there, and just saying go and shoot birds, which is obvious. Okay, so I'll see you all next month. And any questions, just shoot me a message. Okay.
You can go ahead and now, right?
Podcast.
We can send you money right now if we want.
Oh yeah, or you can wait for the email. And yes, but either way. But if you guys are all signed up, yeah, feel free to. I'll set up a new spreadsheet, and then I can check off who's saying they're attending and who's paid, and then I know that everyone's on the list and
Perfect.
all our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. Okay.
So ladies, just so you know, there's a group from Seattle and different garden clubs. This is what they're doing. So we want to keep up with everybody.
Oh my God, guys, I can't. Yeah,
It's going to be good competition.
There's a lot of people, especially GCA, who are desperate for this Monday 9 o'clock slot. I've got like 7 garden clubs who they all want to continue with me, and they all want Monday 9. And I'm like, it's gone like so long ago. But yeah, that's yeah. Hopefully, it's that you're enjoying all the classes, which makes me happy. All right, I'll see you guys all on the 20th. Have a lovely rest of your day.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll see you all soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank